Right, gentlemen, I've actually been matrix attacked. Now, I have previously, before in the past, told you how my bank got blocked. About 2023, so about 2 years ago, when I first started the webcam business, I was obviously running accounts for models and making a lot of money through management in terms of the webcam industry and the adult entertainment industry as a whole. So we've got OnlyFans, PayPigs, that kind of thing. Now this industry brings in a lot of money. On my first night in there, I made $1,000, which at the time I was absolutely dead broke. I was only making a couple hundred per month from my coaching business that is now doing very, very well. But at the time I didn't have any money. So to make 1,000 in one night, I was like, wow, we've hit gold. We've struck jackpot. I need to keep doing this. So we scaled it up and we were bringing in anywhere from like 13 to 15K per week, every 7 days. And that's pounds, and that's pure profit because the way my company ran the strategy, and we're still doing it now to this day, is very different to these OFM guys you see on the internet. They don't really get it like us. So we were running it in a way where we didn't have to pay for any expenses in terms of marketing or anything like that. So it was all profit. So I was doing very, very well. And you got to think I was like, what, 21, 22 at the time? So I was bringing in like thousands per week into this one singular bank account that I had at the time. That looks very suspicious. And I went from broke to doing very well for myself, such a short space of time, very quickly, like 3 months from dead broke to that kind of money. It was crazy. So obviously, you know, the accountant's looking at it and the bank's looking at it, the fraud team's looking at it thinking, what the fuck's going on? Like, why is he just making so much money so quickly all of a sudden? So they blocked my account. And I remember I was out with my mum and my granddad, and we went for this meal, and I was doing very well at the time financially. So I was like, you know, I'm the man now, I'm rich now, I get to take care of my family, you know, I was in that mindset. So I was like, no worries guys, I got it, I'll pay for the whole thing. Went to this little cafe, got a meal, got some drinks and stuff. So I went up to the counter, and as I was gonna go pay for it, my Apple Pay just wouldn't open. Like the card was like blanked out. So I was like, what the fuck? I opened my bank, and it was a Santander bank account. So any of you guys maybe know that one. I opened it and it said, for security reasons, we've blocked access to your account until further notice. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then, no word of a lie, bro, this is why it got really weird. A police van came outside of the cafe as I checked my bank account as this happened. I looked out the window, the police van came right outside the cafe window, and these officers hopped out rapid, like fast, like armed police type shit, like boom, straight out the van. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are they after me? Like, what the fuck's going on? Thankfully, they just went after some crackhead down the road, but it was just weird. So that was my first taste of a matrix attack, if you will. And I know this like matrix thing is kind of like a meme, it's kind of like a joke. People don't really take it seriously. They understand, yeah, the system's a little bit corrupt and the government's controlling everyone and the elites. But when you really delve into this and you're trying to live a life of freedom and sovereignty, and you're trying to be an individual that doesn't abide by normal societal functions, you'll start to realize how true the Matrix actually is. If you've ever seen the movie, the first one, the old one, it is spot on in terms of how reality works. This is all an illusion, it's all a game, and everything's controlled. And you need to learn how to not only know what the game is, but then you need to learn how to manipulate the game in your favor. That is what wealth is all about. That is what cash flow and being an entrepreneur and being a successful, young, competent man in every single realm of life. This is what I teach you guys inside of my School of Life down below. You can join today for $1.60 per day. I basically teach you how to become a young James Bond and just master all realms of life, from combat effectiveness to tax efficiency to the little loopholes here and there in the system. We teach you all of that professionally. But I'm going to give you some free game today because I'm feeling generous. And because it's happened to me again. So that happened the first time I started to diversify my income, multiple bank accounts, etc. I started to get into that a little bit more in the crypto side of things as well. Recently, my Revolut bank account, so Revolut is like a digital banking app, you can get it on your phone, that got blocked out of nowhere and it got restricted. So I was receiving payments from my coaching business and I couldn't receive them. They got reverted back to the sender because it was blocked and it was restricted. And I asked them, like, what the fuck's going on? What are the restrictions for? The restrictions are on until next year, July. I ain't got time to wait that long. Fuck that. So again, I'm getting matrix attacked and it's getting fucking blocked. I'll tell you why. First of all, the banks do not want you to get into crypto or invest in or own any sort of assets. Also, the whole system, you'll realize this when you become an entrepreneur, is designed and set up specifically to make it as complicated and annoying and as hurdle as possible for you to succeed and keep breaking barriers. If you're making a lot of money and you start to do well for yourself financially, or even if you just start a business, you'll start to realize that, wow, everything from the way taxes is set up, to the way the banking system's set up, to the way the government and HMRC and the IRS and all of these things are set up. It's all designed to keep you stuck, to make it complicated, to keep you a slave. They do not want you to break free of the system. They want you to go to work at McDonald's and keep the economy flowing and, pay your taxes on time and all this shit. They want this to happen. And I know it sounds like a little bit of a meme in today's society with the whole escape the matrix culture. But from someone that's actually living this life, and I'm not one of these like Instagram gurus with the fucking fake Rolex and the rented Lambo in Dubai. I don't have a car. I don't have these things. I'm completely authentic with you guys, exactly how I live my life. I live in a beautiful apartment in Manchester, in England. I do very well for myself financially. I've obviously had my ups and downs in my business journey. I've had times where I've been extremely well off financially and then took a dip. I've gone through the whole rigmarole of what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I know what this life is actually like when you do actually live it, right? So with that being said, what can you learn from this? And how do you set up your finances in a way that the ultra wealthy do? Because I like to learn from people all the time. I'm a constant student of life, and I advise you guys to adopt that mindset. It's the best way to live. Never ever get to a position in life where you feel like you're too good to listen to anyone, too good to learn anymore. Yeah, I already know that. I don't need to listen. My ego. Don't ever get to that point. You can be confident in yourself and your ability, but never get to the point where you're blinded by your ego, right? It's the same when I do boxing. I'm very good at boxing. I can fight. I've had multiple street fights in my life. I've never lost a fight in my life. I'm very good at fighting. Naturally, I've always been a bit of a scrapper, but getting into actual boxing and learning the technicals, I just shut the fuck up and listen. I'm confident in my ability. I believe every single fight that I have in terms of boxing, I'm going to win it every single time. But at the same time, while having that confidence, I balance it with this humility mindset of I'm just going to shut the fuck up and learn from people. All of the people, from the beginners that I'm sparring to the professionals, to my coach, to everyone, I'm going to learn from everyone. So, it's a very good mindset to have. Now, listen very carefully, lower your ego. Whatever you thought about the financial system and how you do things in terms of how you spend your money and how you hold your money, you need to remove all of that and go into this with an open mind, because I'm about to shatter your reality. And this is from a raw, authentic perspective. I'm not editing nothing. I'm sat here with you. I'm 23 years old. I'm a normal guy just like you who came from poverty, a council estate, worked my way out completely by myself solo. I had to learn the hard way. Just listen to me, because you can fast track your success instead of feeling like it's all a constant uphill swim and it's just upstream swim and it's a struggle all the time. This is what you need to do. You need to have credit cards. Now, I know this, at first you're gonna be like, I can't be bothered. I don't need credit cards. I'm fine the way I'm doing things. Just listen. I thought that too. Even if you have a low credit score and you find it hard to get approved for credit cards, you need to apply to some credit cards. Now, I teach you exactly which ones inside of my school down below. I've already set up all of my students on this program, and every single one of them are they're doing very well financially, and at the same time, they are matrix proof, okay? Your money is not your money. When you put it into a bank account, the bank loans the money that they store for you to other people, and then they loan to other people, and it's a constant never-ending cycle. None of the money's real. They've taken your 10 grand and turned it into 100 grand through loans of other people and interest rates, and that is then recycled back into the banking system, to the central banking system, because they're all connected and they all do the same thing. And then they've just created money from thin air. While at the same time, the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England in the UK are printing money from thin air for no reason, just printing it. So we have inflation, we have prices of everything going up, we have assets going up. So I'm going to really teach you some deep lessons here. I want you to pay attention and get a fucking pen and paper, because I'm 23 years old and I've learned this shit the hard way. And if I can do it at a young age and live off the grid, so to speak, by being on as many grids as possible, you can do it as well. But you need to know this. If you're serious about this shit, this is the video you need to listen to. You actually want to escape the matrix. It's beyond just make some money. It's deep shit, and you're going to get stung otherwise. So listen. You need to spend all of your money in the real world, and as much as you possibly can. Anything that you spend, any expense that you have, it needs to be spent on credit cards, and you need multiple credit cards. Just like everything else, you need multiple of everything. You need to be on as many grids as you can. So, apply for some credit cards. I teach you which ones inside of my School of Life, so you can save yourself some time. It's only $1.60 per month. Like, you're going to spend that shit on something anyway. It's literally cheaper altogether per month. You're spending more in a day going to Nando's or some shit, or McDonald's, or out for a meal, than you would in the entire month in my school. It's cheaper than a fucking day of a lunch for an entire month access to my school. So just join. Stop thinking about it and just take action and do it, right? Once you're inside, we're going to walk you through. So you need credit cards. Even if you have a low credit score, I had a terrible credit score. Again, I came from poverty. My mum had a terrible credit score. Like nothing was in my favor. You can just get a credit card, start on a $50 or pound limit, work your way up, pay it on time, build your credit score. Before you know it, you're on 3,100, which is currently what I'm on one of my credit cards. I have in credit card spending probably about £6,000 every month to spend on credit cards. Now, the reason we're doing this is because you're not spending your money temporarily. You're spending the credit card's money. So if anything goes wrong, the credit card account gets blocked, you're spending money and it doesn't go through properly. Any problem that you have, it's not your money. So you don't have to worry about it and panic about it. You've got like a full over a month. And even if you do start getting charged interest on a credit card, it's so low. Even on a £3,000 credit limit that I've got on one of my credit cards, the interest rate per month is so little. It doesn't really make any difference anyway, especially if you're a man of entrepreneurship, you're making money, ain't gonna make a difference. And that's like worst case scenario, you don't pay it back for like 6 months. Even if that happens, you're still chilling, okay? So, what was that beep, bro? I heard some like beep on my fucking apartment door. You know, like Call of Duty when you put the breaching charge on the door, and that's what it sounded like. The fuck? Armed police are trying to shut down the video. I gotta get this out for you boys quickly. So you're spending all of your real world money on credit cards. The reason you're doing that is for two reasons. Number one, it's not your money, so if anything goes wrong, you're covered by the credit card company. It's not your money. What is that noise? Number two is your matrix proof in terms of your money, your actual money, your real money that you're usually storing in a bank account is going to be stored somewhere else. I'm going to get onto that in a second, so that they can't control your actual funds, your actual net worth. They can't control it because it's not in a bank. They're not funding it off to other people through loans and interest rates and everything else. It's your actual money that you can take at any point, and it's yours to spend at any point. You don't owe it to anyone. It's not under control for any third party or any banking system. They can't just block your account like they do for me at any point. You're obviously still going to use bank accounts because it's good for direct debits and things like that, and transfers, and you know, I have to transfer my mum some money sometimes if she needs help. So there's other reasons why you'd use a bank account. So you're still going to have a bank account, but you need to make sure you're doing it in the way I'm about to tell you. So all of your real world spending and all of your expenses, as much as possible, is going to be on credit cards. You're then going to take your real money and you're going to stash it in assets. So cryptocurrencies, stocks and shares, offshore accounts, anything that's going to make you money in the background, or anything that secures your wealth away from the banking system. Now, there's two reasons we're going to do this. I might actually get cancelled for making this video. I don't want to speak it out into the existence, but this is some deep level shit I should probably save for the school, but we go a little bit more in depth with the school in things that I can't really share on YouTube. I'm trying to push the boat out a little bit to help you guys, but this is as much as I can say. Invest your money into assets, to cryptocurrencies, to things that are gonna increase and appreciate in value, rather than storing it in a bank and it does nothing other than give you peace of mind. Utility coins such as Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, these are never gonna go down. They're never going to go to zero. They're never going to be out of use because they're a utility coin. They're a real world use of coin. So they're always going to appreciate in value. And the reason they're always going to appreciate is, number one, they're real world use. But number two, they act upon inflation, in direct correlation with inflation. So inflation is when the prices rise in the real world. So you know when people go to the shop and they complain about the price of milk going up, or the price of the bread, it was £1 and now it's £2. Cereal's £4. I bought some cereal, some Weetabix. You guys know Weetabix, right? Got to get your fuel. Bought some Weetabix. It cost me like £4 for Weetabix. It used to be like £1.50, bro. So inflation's insane, and all the prices of everything in the real world is going up. So what does that mean? If you have your money in assets and cryptocurrencies instead of a bank account, I'm broke in a bank account. I've got about £40 in my bank account, right? In assets, I'm not going to say the number obviously, but I've got a lot of money. That's where my net worth is. And if you need to, you can transfer the assets to real world bank accounts, or you can transfer it to Coinbase and then to your bank account. There's ways you can do it, but you're going to store it on a decentralized account in cryptocurrency. There's two reasons you're going to do this. Number one, it's a storage facility. So you may as well store it somewhere out of control from the banks. You're going to store it in a decentralized, which is not traceable to you. No one can realize it's you. No one knows that you have it. It's decentralized, off the grid. So you're going to store it in there. That's a better place to store it because of the control aspect, because of the matrix proof aspect. But at the same time, you're going to store it in a decentralized wallet, in a cryptocurrency or an asset or a stock and share company, because you're going to make money by doing nothing. When I went to Romania a couple of weeks ago, I flew my brother and his girlfriend and my other friend. I paid for everything for 3 other human beings as well as myself, and any women that we were out there with as well. I was seeing some webcam models out there and we were doing business and stuff, and we're talking like taxes and everything like that. But anyway, I paid a lot of money on that holiday. I spent a lot of money. We were going to the spa like fucking 3 or 4 times a week, and that's an expensive fucking spa, one of the biggest in Europe, if not the biggest in Europe. In Bucharest, it's very beautiful. So I was spending a lot of money, but what I realized was when I came home, I made it all back again. Like that, straight away, without even having to do anything at all. Like I didn't have to work, I didn't have to get cash flow. I made it all back because of the investments and the assets that I own in the real world. Now, why is that? Because naturally as inflation rises, because they're constantly printing money from thin air, assets are going to rise in price as well. Your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin, your XRP, your stock and share company. These are going to rise as inflation rises. They match it because it's an asset in the real world that people pay for. So if you own that asset, guess what's going to happen to your net worth? You're going to increase your net worth. You're going to make money. So all of the money I spent when I was in Romania, I made it back by the time I got off the plane and landed back in Manchester. Doing nothing. I was asleep on the plane, meditating, reading a book, and I made money just like that. So the Romania trip was basically free. So you need to learn and understand how to do this. It's a storage point to protect yourself against the central banking system, and like my situation where they just block your bank and I can't pay for things. My money's just stuck in there. You don't want that. Now, luckily, I'm a professional and I understood this was coming before it even happened. So alongside all of this, alongside storing your money away, just do that. Like, trust me, if you still have money in a bank account, a substantial amount of money in a bank account, you are being stupid. If you want me to help you, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email, or you can message me on Telegram, and I can help you for free set up a crypto account to help you store your money in a crypto account instead. Decentralized, off the grid, no one knows it's you, it's untraceable. That's real safe money. You should be protecting your wealth the same way you protect yourself on the street. It's the exact same thing. Why are you going to allow some fucking fat banking nerd to take your money from you and block your money at any point that you've worked hard for? Don't let that happen, okay? Now, with that being said, you're going to have to decentralize yourself and you're going to have to diversify yourself. This is the final point I'm going to make because I don't want to make this too long. The rest of the information's inside of the School of Life. You need to get in there ASAP. For every reason. You want to become competent in every realm, from dating to combat to money. School of Life is the place to do it. Now, diversification, what does that mean? You need multiple bank accounts. Because if one gets blocked, you got another one, you got another one, you got another one, you got another one. And bank accounts are useful for moving money around, okay? So you do need bank accounts still. I'm not saying don't have a bank account. You just need loads. You need like 10. Just apply to loads of bank accounts, right? Get as many as you can. You need PayPal, you need Stripe. You need other storage facilities. You can store money on PayPal. You can use PayPal as another storage point. So your main goal here is to have as many bank accounts, as many credit cards, and as many crypto wallets. I've got hundreds of crypto wallets. Hundreds on multiple different applications, both centralized, things like Coinbase, and also decentralized, things like Phantom Wallet, right? So basically what I'm trying to say to you is my wealth, my overall net worth is stored in so many different facility points, it is impossible to shut me down. I've lost money on the bank account that's been blocked, but it's fine because I've split my wealth into other multiple different banks, PayPal, Stripe accounts, crypto wallets, so many different things, offshore accounts, Switzerland. I'm considering doing things like that. I'm going to talk to my accountant about it and go to Switzerland potentially and get an account set up over there. And obviously this is all entertainment purposes, but there's many different ways to do it, right? But that should be your main goal. This is how you stay on as many grids as possible, and that is how you stay in control of the game. It's like chess. You have to stay in control of the game. You have to be one step ahead. You can't be just letting the wind blow you around and be like, oh, well, I'll just deal with it when it happens. No, you've got to be prepared. You have to be paranoid. I am super paranoid, super security conscious about everything. You have to think about these things. Same with your home. You're going to let someone break into your home? Oh, well, if it happens, I'll deal with it. No, you've got to be prepared. Why did you go into Thailand? There's certain things you can do in Thailand you can't do here. Like certain, let's say, defense mechanisms you can do in Thailand that you can't do over here. There's things you can do. You got to finesse the system. It's all one big game. It's all a system. It's like Monopoly. Learn how to play it properly. And we teach you exactly how to do that in every single realm of life, from how to get women, to how to improve your mindset, to getting in good shape. We have a full-on fitness coach in there for you guys to talk to. We have a female counselor for you guys to talk to in terms of attractiveness from a female gaze perspective, because males and females just get it completely wrong. They think that males think that the way females do, it's all fucked, right? That's the modern dating scene is all over the place. So we have a woman in there, female counselor you can talk to, ask questions to. How would a woman react if I did this? How would she think about me? To get it from a female perspective. And also I'm in there teaching you because I'm a real G, and obviously I've been around a little bit, so I'm teaching you guys the game as well. But get inside of the School of Life. That is your next step in terms of your transformation journey. You cannot make this transformation by yourself. A team will always win and always beat a solo performer. It's just how it goes. If you're in a fight and you've got 10 guys on your team versus one guy, the one guy's always going to lose. It doesn't matter how good he is or how skillful he is, you need to lower your ego and you need to realize this. Otherwise, you're going to get destroyed and reality is going to give you a reality check where your ego gets humbled. You do not want that. You're going to be like the guy in an analogy sense, in a metaphorical sense, of the guy that walks into a boxing gym for the first time, thinks he can fight because every man does. He walks around, yeah, I can fight, yeah, I can throw a punch, yeah, I'm like, well, one time I got really angry and hit this guy. Every guy thinks he can fight until he walks into a gym and spars someone that actually can fight and he gets battered and he gets humbled. That's going to be you financially, dating-wise, in the gym, in boxing. You're going to get humbled in every single round unless you surround yourself with a team that can teach you and build you up. You must become a student of life like I am. Even though I'm very, very well off financially and I'm very well in terms of every realm of life, I've pretty much mastered life, I'm still a student of life. I'm still learning every single day. Even about women, I still learn to this day. When I get rejected, I'm like, what can I do better? Financially, I'm still learning, I'm still networking, I'm still growing. And I'm basically the facilitator of this international organization. We have guys all over the world. You can join today. And you can connect with people all over the world. And you can just learn from loads of different perspectives all day, every single day. How the fuck are you gonna lose? It's impossible to lose. You have a weakness, we got a guy to come and fill it in for you. You've just infinite strength. You're just ready to win at every single realm of life. It's impossible to lose. Join today. I will look forward to welcoming you inside. Make sure you are getting serious about your financial security because it's very, very important. And you don't want to end up like me getting your banks blocked because it will happen to you. I promise you. I was one of them guys that thought, no, it's not going to happen to me. You know, I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not doing that stuff. I'm going to, finesse it. I'm a legitimate businessman. I pay taxes and everything and I still get my bank blocked. We're just going to do an investigation. I ain't got time for no investigations that last a whole year. I've got transfers to make. I've got shit to do. Right? So it's going to happen to you as well. Trust me. I'm a normal 23-year-old lad. I don't do anything illegitimately. I don't have any reason to be flagged for investigation. And I still get investigated and still get my bank blocked. So it's going to happen to you as well if you start making money. It just is. It's how it goes. So keep that in mind. And I'll see you boys soon.